Good afternoon. It is October the 27th, 2016. Time to recap today's trading. We came in today wanting to sell 44s to 46s. The high was 43.75. Our buy was basically in the 30 to 35 area this morning. And when the market sold, it went right through that area. Didn't have a chance to buy it. The first time you had a chance to buy was down here in the 30 area right here, which would have been our number 2 or our backup buy. But the trade that we talked about this trade right here before the market opened. This trade was a good one. Mean green trade worked. The down here was a scratch. This B worked. This B was a scratch. This B was a positive. Retest failure. S positive. Then we just kind of chop and move sideways here till we get another retest failure. So the calls on where support and resistance were. The first trade of the day we liked. We said the easiest trade to see was not getting through 21.45, 21.50. And that turned out to be the case. So the short side was favored early in the market. We're probably in a trading range until the election is over. 21.25, 21.45 has been the recent range. We've got a higher low and a higher high than we did against G period right here, but you can just see how tight the range is. So we saw at the value area, there's a buyer below 23, there's a seller above 43. We tried resistance this morning. Perhaps we try support overnight or early in tomorrow's session. F1 says buy it. F2 is not going to give that information. F2 is going to be a pretty solid B. It's going to tell you to find a place to sell it. Tomorrow we do have news. We have GDP plus 2.5. This will be final GDP. Next month we'll get the first take on GDP. The deflator at 1.5. So this is old news. Should have very little impact. Employment cost index up 0.6%. Consumer sentiment 88.5. The number could come in lower than forecast. And Baker Hughes rig count 696. That number is probably higher than it was last week. So GDP is old news. Employment cost index. People look at it, but the people that write these reports are the ones, not traders. So consumer sentiment right now, and that number could come in lower than forecast. If the market were to close right here, right now, last rotate up was 34, then at 31, so basically selling the 31 area or better gives us an advantage. Top of value is 35.36 right now, assuming that we're going to probably close the market in the 30-31 area right here where volume is. If we make new lows, these numbers will have to be revised, so we'd be selling 34.36. And we made that call over lunch. We said if we failed at 35, or the sell zone of resistance was at 35. Turned out pretty well. Sell 2 at 39 to 41. On the buy side, maybe it stops below 23.50, so 20, 22 buy 1, 15 to 17 buy 2. And now if we come back up and close in the 31 area in Globex overnight, we'll be trying to buy against 25. So a lot of it just depends on where the market closes this afternoon. Okay, tomorrow's post-auction, we had a good 7-year auction, but it was done at a very much lower price than the other 2 auctions. So we're looking for a pause day tomorrow on treasuries. Lower high, lower low, find a place to sell it. And we probably should do this. Start of a new distribution down yesterday. Looking at our F2 screen. Definitely a B. Structurally, last rotate up was 17.5. So then we had the spill from 20, so we're going to sell failure to take out 16 to 20. And then 23s to 27s, sell 2. On the buy side, 8 to 12 is support. So we'll put our buy 8 to 12. Then 1 to 5. Knob spread got clobbered today. We might have a good opportunity the long side in the bond tomorrow. So where Megan Kelly wants 20 million bucks. That's some pretty heavy bread for reading what other people write for you. Okay, lots of range right here. This 22 area, so we're at 14. So 20 to 24, 18 to 22. We'll make 16 to 20 number 1. And leaning against that bar's low right there, that high. 23, 27 will be number 1. 3 to 7 will be number 2. On the buy side, we have support at 10, so 4 to 8's number 1. 29 to 01, buy 1. And 17 to 21, buy 2. I think the damage has been done in treasuries tomorrow and into the week profit taking is probably what we'll see. Gold's held in there pretty well, better than you'd expect with the selling that we saw in treasuries. Almost an inside day, so we still have that seller at 75 and we've got a buyer in the 60 to 65 area, so here we sit at 71. That looks like trading range to me. Have a B pattern here, so we're going to do what we're going to do. 73, 75, sell 1. 78 to 80, sell 2. On the buy side, 65, 67. And then 60, 62. Crude oil actually held in there pretty well. Seller at 50, buyer at 49. I think the bias is to the downside, but we got an OPEC meeting coming up in November, and they're still trying to hash out the production levels and establish their bargaining points in the press. Higher low, higher high in crude, but definitely dealing with B's, so let's fold all of that back in, and we'll leave it like that. Looking at the F2, it's a P. We're at 61, so 50, 50 and a quarter, sell 1. Maybe in London we come back up and retest that high. 50, 50, 50, 75, sell 2. On the buy side, we're going to make it 49, 49 and a quarter, buy 1. Then 48, 50, 48, 75, buy 2. I guess the Baker Hughes rig count is going to be higher tomorrow. last but not least, the euro. I keep saying that. Probably is the least from our perspective, but for our London clientele, got to be pretty close to the top of their list. Inside day, that implies a trading range tomorrow. It's a good contract, especially if you can catch it London time. That thing can move directionally and move a long way. Double distribution headed lower. We got a seller, 109.50. We have had a buyer at 108.75, and here we are at 25. So 40 to 50, sell one. 70 to 80, sell two. On the buy side, 109 even, 109.10 buy one, 108.75, 108.85 buy two. And that does it for this October 27th, 2016. I will see you all bright and early in the morning. You all have a great evening. We'll see if we can't shake that money tree once again tomorrow.